Well, I didn't count down. I didn't see the countdown to 5.
You're supposed to be the fucking engineer and the producer. You got papers. Hey, welcome to Bourbon and Badges, the podcast. Rod Nader here with the usual crew. Dopey Dog, Hound Dog, and Slow Ride. What's going on, fellas?
Hey, fighting some. Sorry about the loud music. Fighting some technology over here. I kept saying that something went wrong. Refresh your page.
I'm not doing good at all.
Looks like everybody's up and running. So yeah, I'm all good over here, guys. What you up to?
Not much. Hound Dog, you doing good?
Yeah.
Had a good weekend.
Well, just saying on here, Slow Ride's experiencing issues.
There it goes. Your face was froze, bro.
Yeah.
Right when Slow said no technology difficulties, your face was froze.
Hey, what's new, right? You know that
Slow
for like
Ride
40
has
years.
issues.
You can't have any issues.
Yeah.
I got a whole
I'm
bottle
looking.
right there.
In our business, red is good, and I'm seeing red everywhere, so we should be good.
Hound Dog's got a whole new bottle, so he's good.
Yeah, everything is matching my neck, so we're good to go. Yeah.
I got you.
Nice.
I got you.
Well, listen, we
I
Got
got
to hang
you.
out with Rodney a little bit.
Yeah, we had lunch. I met Mrs. Dopey Dog, and very nice
Couldn't
lady.
find Red, couldn't find Hound Dog.
Yeah.
Got me.
Yeah, that's
Tell
true.
them what happened.
So we're sitting eating, and then Reggie goes. I get a text from Reggie. Where are you all at? And we're like, what? And I'm like, where are we all at? And we had just texted back and forth that we were meeting to eat, and I was here, and I'm at the table in the back, and we were talking, and also Reggie goes, where are you all at? And I thought he was making a surprise appearance and going to eat lunch with us. He came to Gastonia for some reason. So I said, Dobie, I think Reggie's here somewhere out front or something like that. So Dobie got up and started looking around
He
for
called
Reggie.
me on the phone.
And then
Bitch says,
finally,
I'm at the front door.
yeah. And then finally in my head, I'm like, this motherfucker. So I go, you ain't. I call him on the phone and put him on the spot. He goes, I'm here right now at the Dallas location. I go, we're Gastonia. What are you doing in Dallas? He goes, oh, I go, you're full of shit.
So it worked.
He goes,
It worked.
yeah, I'm still at the beach. So Dobie's
Oh,
out.
God, I can't find him.
Yeah, Dobie's out front looking around. I'm looking
True,
like, we look like
true.
fucking morons. Yeah. So anyway,
It did work.
yeah, it did work. Well, you
It
don't
didn't
have to
take
do
a-
anything
it
to make
didn't
us
take a
look
lot
like
of work to make
morons.
us
We're
look
just
like
morons
morons,
anyway.
but-
But you know, yeah.
Yeah, we're pretty close anyway.
Yeah. But I met Mrs. Dobie Dog.
She had to be
Dobie
marry
married
him.
Up, so that's good. Good for him. And very nice lady.
Was she sober?
Yeah, she was sober. What are you talking about? She a drinker? She a drinker, Dope?
She had to be
She
married,
don't buy
Dobie.
me Suburban.
Got it. I'm slowing you up, T. Rim shot. Okay, yeah.
She'll buy me Suburban.
Yeah, she was. Yeah. No, she's awesome. So we had some lunch, and we had a good time just there in G-Town. And so, yeah, it was a good weekend for us, too. For me, too. What else is going on? You guys do anything special this weekend?
Hey, I do want to apologize, man. I know I look beat up, man, but I've had a rough weekend. 5.5 hours, crap. 5.5 miles hiking a day.
Oh, good
Yesterday I cut trees and telephone poles. If that sounds weird. Hey, I'd like to shout out to Sean Walton, a buddy of the podcast. Sean came up to a festival in Spruce Pine. I was supposed to go hang out with him. We got stuck cutting the trees and the telephone poles, and then get up with him. But Sean, we'll get together soon here, real soon, buddy. So appreciate your patience with me.
It sounds like, listen,
Yeah.
this is just me. Guys, I need Dobie Dog and Hound Dog. Slow, it sounds like since you've retired, you've become a fucking manual laborer, like tree cutting, telephone, hiking, woodsman type guy. Like, aren't you supposed to fucking relax when you fucking
Well, the thing about being
Like, it
retired, I
sounds
can't
like
afford
you just-
nobody. I can't hire people to do it. I got to do it myself.
You got to do. I mean, just cutting trees and poles, and you're taking care of ducks, and you're evicting. Did you evict
And
the duck
roosters?
yet? Is the duck
No,
done
none
yet?
of the duck's still around. Squirrel's the duck's name. That's kind of confusing, but she's still around.
Squirrel's
She's
still
leaving though, but she's still
She's
around.
tearing shit up. I thought.
Fucking duck
Oh,
named
she is. She's
Squirrel.
turning the pond all up, man.
You got roosters.
She got to go.
You know the old term, fuck a duck.
Oh, yeah. And there is a new addition to the
Fuck a
podcast.
duck named Squirrel. New soundboard by tried to get me with that one earlier.
I'll say, boy.
Our mascot, our new mascot.
Let's call him Cogborn Leghorn, because I always think of Foghorn Leghorn
Sugar it.
when we do that. I said, what you doing, boy?
Yes, Cogborn from Rooster Cogborn off of what was that?
I'm gonna come up there and get that
Sugar
fucking
Grit.
rooster and
Yeah,
throw
so
that
he's
sandwich
Cogborn.
out there and with
He'll
the
be on the
duck.
show a lot.
Yeah.
Yes, he
Anyway,
is.
all right, well, good
Shit.
deal, guys. So,
You can't make it up.
Yeah. Because you know he's going to be
There you
squeezing that
go.
motherfucker the
I am
whole
proud
show.
of you.
Yeah, and
So-
he's going to be bugging the fuck out of us.
So Hound Dog will be proud of me. I introduced Mrs. Dobie to the correct sun drop.
There's
And
the
what?
sun drop.
Three
the one that
six-packs.
There's three
in the,
6-packs back here now.
I
You
guess
got to
Charlotte area.
you got to get background there. 'Cause no one
Gastonia,
knows what that
Charlotte,
means.
and all that. We have a
You get the background.
the
Reggie.
cap
You go
on the
about
sun
that.
drops or on the diet sun drop is white. Okay, and when I moved to the beach, I could only find a cap with the yellow cap diet sun drop. Come to find out that the white cap sun drop, the one in Charlotte, Gastonia area, is the original formula for sun drop. The one in the yellow cap, which we have here in Brunswick County, and is a different recipe. Well, it's not new. It's still like the sun drop, but it's just that they slightly changed the recipe a little bit, and it does not taste the same as the
A new one?
Yeah, it does. It does not taste the same as the regular white cap sun drop. White.
New and not
White cap.
improved.
Don't look at
Right.
anything other than white cap.
Which
It is
one,
what it
which
is.
one are we recommending here if I want to drink a sun drop diet sun drop? White cap.
It's,
Why has it got to be
It's
white?
what it
She
is.
didn't know the
You
difference.
racist
Yeah,
bastard.
yeah.
Why has it got to be white? It's all. That was a test. You should have said yellow just for the fucking. Yep, here we go.
So she
Racist,
never,
racist people.
God,
she
always
had never
white.
tried the difference, so she tried
What
one.
five? What about 3 6-packs?
Yeah, so we bought 3 6-packs to bring back to her friends who drink sun drop.
You said he's done 5 fingers. We done. We
shit.
picked 3 6-packs.
We got 5 6-packs. There's that crooked finger. All right, cool.
No, we don't.
this
We don't
up.
drink our pre-podcast meeting.
No, not at all. No, we're not buzzing right now. So anyway, okay, guys. So the show today, we got a kind of little special show. It's going to be a little bit of a moment because we are coming up on a pretty poor anniversary, pitiful anniversary, where some officers got killed in line of duty a year ago. This is coming. It's going to be Tuesday. This is a Sunday night, folks, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. We also have some bourbon to commemorate that sad period, and we're going to go ahead and take a toast to that and remember those officers who have fallen. And then we have a plethora of things to go through here. I was going to mention a couple things if you want to stay tuned. We have of course, our usual wretched, murdering pieces of shit that we're going to talk about. Illegal
Not us.
alien problems,
Not us.
all that stuff. But we got a handyman who killed a landlord lady and buried her under her shed.
Yep.
Nothing, just try to get rid of her. She was a pest. Kentucky woman choking out her husband because he wants to leave her. Tried to set him on fire. That's a good one. Kentucky teacher in a juvenile facility trying to have sex with one of the juvenile inmates, get her to kill
Yep.
her husband.
Oh yeah. Yep.
The serial killer in New England. We talked about it already.
Yeah.
We got an update on that. Could be a problem up in the New England states. You remember the guys, the beaches, the last episode?
So it's
Yeah.
confirmed, I guess.
Yeah, it's still moving on, and I guess there's more up there. I didn't read the article yet, but we're gonna talk about it. Guatemalan illegal alien charged in a Maryland girlfriend's murder and buried her, and his uncle's also in on it with him. So both of them, both illegal, both going to charge with murder. Just,
Well, it seems to be
it
the
continues. It continues.
yeah. That seems to be the topic of the show here lately. All illegals for some reason.
It's
We're not
the
making this
topic.
stuff up.
It's the topic in the news. Yeah, that's what's going on.
Problem
And,
is nobody else will tell you.
Well, yeah, it's almost like they try to just like downplay it because they want to. The news is just on a certain side, guys. We all know that. We talk about it all the time. It's just the way they are. They hide things and they don't talk about certain things on purpose. Like Lincoln Riley when she was
Right,
killed,
yeah.
they wouldn't talk about her, but they're talking about this guy who was deported
Yeah.
to El Salvador. They talk about him nonstop. But they don't talk about the people who they kill. At all.
Or
It's
or
just
the guy's
ridiculous.
background. He's just a father of 3.
Yeah.
He's a victim.
Like we said, every MS-13 member, illegal alien, has sex. So I'm sure they all have kids. They're all fathers. Who cares? Serial killers can be fathers too. I mean, it's all you got to do is
Unfortunately,
So anyway, Chicago mayor wants to defund the police, cut the police budget a little bit more. I don't know what he's thinking, but he wants to.
Well, crime is
because
so low there. So
yeah, well, crime is.
They don't
yeah.
have enough murders.
I think he's actually trying to go for a record, guys. I think he's literally like opposite. Like in his head, he's going, "Damn, I want to raise this son of a bitch up so they never forget me."
So he can be the shittiest mayor ever in Chicago.
I got Chicago. And you know what? I side note, I watch some of the city council meetings that are highlighted on TV, and I go to X and I watch some of them, and these people, black people, are ripping him a new ass, and he's just standing there.
I've seen that.
He's just standing there with his hands in his pocket, but he doesn't even seem like he cares, Hound. Doesn't even seem like he
That's going to be a feel-good story.
Yeah. And we got a couple other things. There's a lot to talk about. There was definitely want to talk about some judges, guys. You know about that. That's going to be our feel-good story. That's going to be at the end. That's going to be the last story. Got these
That is
judges,
a feel-good story.
Judges getting locked up for breaking the law. How ironic is that? They're supposed to enforce the law. They're supposed to pass judgment on crimes committed and so forth. What's a crime, what's not. And they're supposed to be unbiased and call balls and strikes. But these activist judges now are taking it too far. And this administration is not having it. And it's such a refreshing thing. Because as we know, guys, when Trump was being prosecuted, what's not? Nobody's above the law. That's all we heard. So guess what? We're going to throw it back in your face. Nobody's above the law. Even a black robe. And that's it, guys. And we'll go from there. How's that sound?
Sound good.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, so go ahead.
Let me start this out because I've got a regular, man. It's no surprise here.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, I got a
drink
new one
smoked
tonight.
maple.
Hadn't tried this
Everybody's
yet.
going, oh, yeah, Slow's got enough. Before you even put that up, our fans, all three of them, will
Bourbon
go,
whiskey.
he's drinking Knob Creek tonight.
Oh, yeah.
5 years age statement. It's Lynchfield Distillery. It's double-barreled bourbon whiskey.
Huh.
It's 90 proof.
5 years.
The mash bill is 70% corn, 25% rye, and 5% malted barley. And all the grains that was grown to produce this whiskey, it was grown in Connecticut. So it's a homegrown thing for Connecticut. And I've never had this, and honestly, I think I might have. I don't know where I got it, to be honest. I have no idea where I got it.
Right.
Yeah. But it's like I said, its age statement's 5 years.
Off the shelf.
You've had that much of it so far, huh?
Yes, a high rye, which is not in my wheelhouse. You know, y'all know me. I like the wheated stuff. But
It's a high rye, right?
Yeah,
25%.
it does, yeah.
That's pretty high.
yes, I guess that's from the
It's
double barreled.
Buck stuff.
I guess they took it out of the barrel
double
and put it
D
back in the barrel
Oh,
once they
that's
proofed
dark
it
as hell,
down.
it looks
It's
like
at
from here.
90
Looks like
proof.
it's dark, too. Is that pretty dark?
Yeah.
Well, okay. Yeah. Looks a little darker than usual.
Well, the thing about it is, talking about the farm,
Yeah.
raised there in the state and everything's done in the state. A lot of
Okay.
the newer
Yeah.
bourbons will say,
It's real
from farm to bottle. But they're
peppery
all
forward.
farm to
I
bottle.
mean, it is. My mouth is on fire.
What else you going to do?
Yeah.
Pretty stout, huh? Pretty stout,
And-
hound dog?
Yes. Yep. 90 proof and a high rye.
Amazing.
And it's funny.
Oh, really? Okay.
Bobby,
And you said 90
my
proof and a
lovely
high
wife
rye,
Bobby,
so
she
double barrel.
actually wrote the
Wow.
notes for me today. Oh yeah, yeah. That's my slow rise, single.
Oh, nice.
Oh, man,
She
y'all should
wrote
have
on
seen
here
a podcast
she
meeting. He's
put on the
ordering her
bottom of
around,
this
and she's bringing him a
that
sandwich.
After reading up on it, she said, "Some say
She's like, anything else, sir?
the
What else
mouthfeel
can I do
is
for you,
thick
sir?
and creamy." So I don't know what the hell that shit's all about, but that's what the hell you can't see it. There it is.
Ooh.
She did.
Yeah, baby.
You as a man should never say
Oh,
thick
did
and
she put a
creamy
smiley face on there?
I'm just reading.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, she was.
I'm just
she's
reading what
busting
I'm
your
supposed to read,
See, as a
guys.
man,
I'm
you
not
should
drinking
never
too
say,
much now, hound dog.
as a man, you should never say thick and creamy ever again. She got
Some
you on
words
that
you
one.
just don't say.
But
I
to
tasted
be
it. My
honest,
wife says it's thick and creamy.
And then she
I'm
kissed
gonna-
me.
I'm gonna have to give this one a
Yeah.
3. A 3. Yeah, yeah.
He just took another drink, folks.
It's really spicy and it's.
You're choking
I
it
want to
down,
a
aren't
piece
you?
of popcorn to get that taste out of my mouth.
Wow. Okay.
A 3. Wow. Just cause so spicy?
Whew. All right then, let's not put that one to the side.
That's bad.
Damn. Okay. All right. All right. Well, I moving on. I broke out an an old bottle from a year ago, and you'll see why it was a year ago. Because
1042.
it was the end of watch 1042 bottle. 1042 meaning end of duty, end of tour, end of watch usually, but it's also done when, yep, Hound Dog's holding up his. It's when someone passes away or dies from whether it's in duty, on duty or off duty.
I tell you something sad along those thing lines, man. It make the hair on your back and neck stand up. And a lot of cops listen to us, and we're certainly proud that they do. But if you've never been on duty and they done a last call for a dead cop, they call them out 3 times.
Yeah.
Man, it's oh man, tear to the eyes.
That and when they play Amazing Grace on the bagpipes, just if you ever heard it, you hadn't heard it, listen to it.
The bagpipes get me every time.
Yeah.
But so a year ago, coming up on this Tuesday, there was the backstory, folks, was they were doing a search warrant in Charlotte, and it was a task force, marshals type of task force, and that means you put together officers from the area, as well regular local, as well as state type and fed type people together, and you have a task force, and it's like it was a marshal's task force, and they were going to serve a warrant, and the details again are fuzzy for me, but the guy was ready for him and opened fire. And when the smoke cleared, all 4 officers were dead. 3 marshal type guys, and 1 Charlotte officer named Dobie Ayers, right? Am I pronouncing that right? Yeah, Joshua, and I believe, right, Dobie?
Yep.
Yeah, and so it's coming up on a year. We're not celebrating what happened. We're celebrating the officers who every day go out there and put their lives on the line to lock up dangerous people. And guess what? This guy was pretty dangerous, right? He killed 4 people that day. And he killed 4 officers. So if he's going to kill 4 officers, he'll kill you, a civilian, for those of you listening. So every day we knocked on doors. These guys here, 120 years of service you're looking at right here, or listening to. Every day we knock on a door, didn't know what was on the inside of the door, traffic stops, whatever. Dobie's holding up a picture of the 4 officers. Yeah,
we covered that in season 6 on one of our podcasts.
Yeah. Anyway, so here's to him.
Here's the
and Dobie's got a special bourbon he wants to show real quick, and then we'll have a toast. How about that? One second.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. There's Liberty Call Bourbon out of San Diego, California. How will you see this?
Yep, I got it right there. Yep, the badge. It shows the badge.
Yeah. So long story short, they came out with a commemorative bottle for Joshua Ayers. It has the Charlotte engraved badge.
The beehive badge kind of looking thing.
Yep, and it's actually Charlotte's badge. Has his badge number on it.
That's cool.
Also says End of Watch, April 29th, 2024. Proverbs 28:1, which is mean wicked men flee, and somebody has to pursue them. I can quote it, but go through it. But that's basically what it is.
Right.
If someone that's where the whole thing about being a lion comes into play with law enforcement. Mm-hmm. The wicked men shall flee, and somebody has to pursue them.
Fuck yeah.
Uncommon very, very small batch bourbon whiskey. Finished at the American wood. It is 96 proof. And it's like I said, it's a shout out to Liberty Call Distilling in Spring Valley, California. There was a commemorative bottle.
Hold up to the camera, Dobie. Double D.
Is that better?
Right. Yeah, right there's good. Right there. Right there.
All the proceeds went to the family, and this company actually, they do different types of commemorative bottles for people's retirements, things like this. So I bought it and did not open it till tonight.
Perfect.
And just to give you a rundown, kind of like Rod said, I won't go too much overboard on it because he's already kind of briefed me. But the guy, they went serve warrants on him. They got ambushed from a house. The Joshua Ayers, William Elliott, Samuel Polachek, and Thomas Weeks Jr. were all the officers involved. They actually shot 8 people, killed 4.
And there's no defense for an ambush.
No. They were walking up the house, top floor window, opened up on them. Had a couple close friends that were actually there on the scene. Mm-hmm. It was like a shootout you see on TV, just rounds everywhere. Charlotte had to do explosive breach on the house eventually. 4 other officers were killed. 4 other officers were shot, but these were killed. So I got the bottle and didn't open it till tonight, so I was going to have it for them. Mm-hmm. And like I said, if you ever look up this company, they do stuff for other like retirements, whatever. But all the proceeds went to the family.
Good.
Well, give some tasting notes here, Adobe D.
It's got a little bit of spice to it, like maybe some vanilla, kind of caramel. It's really smooth. It's not a little burn afterwards, but not bad. It's a 96 proof, but it's solid. I mean, it's like caramel, vanilla, just a little spice. I think it's probably a high rye. Just I couldn't find a mash bill on it because it's really commemorative bottle, but and you're not going to find it every day because, like I said, it wasn't cheap, but you get the bottle to keep, and all the money goes to the family, so it's well worth it.
Yeah, good cause. Good cause.
So, kind of neat story, but this is a good thing. And like I said, this one is not going to be an everyday drinker, even though it could be quality wise. It could be.
Well, rate it for us.
It's
0's the worst thing in the world. 10's the best thing in the world. 7's a daily drinker for us.
7.5.
Okay.
But I'm not going to drink it every day. It's just one of those that'll sit there for special occasions like this.
Yeah.
And that kind of thing.
Well, let's raise them up.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
To the 4 officers who passed and their families. Right. It's been a year. God bless them. God bless you. Hope everything's going well.
Yeah,
and
to
all
our
the
brothers
out there,
our brothers and sisters.
Stay safe and keep getting it. Keep on getting it.
And the families they left behind.
Oh yeah, man. It's it's not just a cop, man. It's the whole family. That Hey, and Rodney, we didn't go over this in the pre-podcast meeting, but give us a background. Why is your badge? For our new listeners, Rodney is a retired captain for Charlotte Mech PD. Mm-hmm. Why is your badge a hornet's nest?
I know that one.
Well, go ahead, Dobie.
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, but my understanding is Charlotte Mecklenburg, when General Cornwallis came through during the Revolutionary War, he quoted it as that it was like walking through a hornet's nest. And that became a Charlotte symbol for years. If you go into some parts of Charlotte, you'll see the city limits and it'll have that hornet's nest. Mm-hmm. So therefore, their badge is engraved and to look like a hornet's nest. Is that anywhere correct?
That's true. That's true.
Oh wow.
There's one other thing too, because when the Charlotte they call, there's a lot of references, but that's the one. But like the honeybee, like for the Charlotte Hornets, basketball, right?
Right.
Hornet's nest, and the honeybees and all that. So the beehive typing look badge was changed. I don't know what year it was. It was in the middle of my career sometime. They changed it.
Yeah, so I don't remember it being anything other but that.
Yeah. I mean, it was way back. I think they didn't have it before they merged, and we merged in what, 94? Mecklenburg County, Mecklenburg County and Charlotte. It used to be Mecklenburg County Police and Charlotte Police, and then they merged together to do the Charlotte Mecklenburg Police. And I think it was shortly after that, it wasn't too far after that. But yeah, so that's why. So that's why it looks like it's supposed to be like a bee's nest, a hornet's nest.
Yeah,
it was a cool looking badge. I've always said it is a.
It's on your patch too, right? It's in like the middle of your patch.
Yep.
And it's unique and special. I've always liked that look.
Yeah. Right.
Hey, and a side note, Gaston County, North Carolina, out of 100 counties, North Carolina is the only county.
They don't nobody want to give up
a county
being
police.
the boss. That's what it is.
The only one left.
Sheriff don't want to give up being a sheriff, and
wonder how long
police
last.
chief don't want to give up.
Depends on who you ask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. You're right, Hound Dog. That's exactly what.
So
it
you
is.
have the county, but we still have we still have the Mecklenburg County Sheriff's Department.
They
But
do
we have
civil.
the Charlotte Mecklenburg Police Department. You guys are saying the Gaston County Police and Gaston City are still separate. Do you have a Sheriff's Department too?
Yep.
Yes. Sheriff
three.
does civil. County PD does criminal for the county. And of course, Gastonia PD does it for the city. Yes.
So now we are, Charlotte Mecklenburg does all the criminal, and Mecklenburg County Sheriff's
Hey, real
Department
quick, I got one
does
little
all the
history brief
courts
on
and the
come
paper
to my
services
attention.
and runs
Right.
the jails. Yeah.
April
I got you.
14th,
Okay.
1865.
Cool deal.
It is. On the day of his assassination, President Lincoln approved the formation
history.
of what
Go
is
ahead.
now known as the Secret Service. On the day that he got
Oh,
killed.
shit, that's way back.
Yes. Could have. But that's
Man,
Really?
should've done like
It was.
a month at a time.
sure was.
If he had it a couple days earlier, it might have caught that motherfucker before
Right.
they capped him.
And for argument's sake,
Damn
President
it.
Lincoln was a Republican. The Republicans set the slaves free.
Republicans also put all the bills forward, the 13th, 14th, and 15th
Democrat.
Amendment, and they all voted for them. The Democrats voted against them.
And guess what
figured that.
political party John Wilkes Booth was. Democrat from the South.
Yeah.
At the time, because it's kind of changed, right?
Hey,
That's a
why
big.
we have
That's not even a rabbit hole. That's a big fucking bear hole. That's a whale hole we could go down right now. We don't want to do that.
I don't know why we have a pre-podcast meeting and set the podcast up. We go
That's what makes it fun.
Yeah, we go off the rails right away. There's no direction. It's like we have a map. We have it mapped out, and we just fucking take that right, and then the map's got to readjust and readjust. You know, I do that shit. It does.
I will say that this is a really good bourbon, though.
Yeah, this podcast is a surprise to us as to anybody else.
Yeah,
man.
we didn't see this coming, and we run this motherfucker.
Don't ask what's coming because we don't know.
Yeah. All right, guys, you want to jump into some of this crazy stuff going on?
Do.
All right, I don't know. When you hire a handyman, guys, you might want to be careful because some have a propensity to kill you and bury you in your shed. So this handyman, of course, it's in Washington, was working for an 82-year-old woman. That's a lady right there.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah, they hadn't.
And apparently,
this is in Olympia, Washington.
Was
State,
her family,
of course.
was
And her
wondering
family
what
hadn't heard
they
from her in a couple
her
of
few
days,
right?
and they
Go ahead,
sent
Hound
the
Dog.
law enforcement out to do a welfare check. Couldn't find her, and a few days later, they learned that the handyman, she had the handyman over to her house for dinner one night, and when he left, she left. She hadn't been seen from. They ended up finding a shed on. I don't know if it's on her property or a property that he had control over. Okay, Bill. Yeah.
No, he actually.
Yeah, he
what
built
he
the
did,
shed
what
out
he
back
did was
and
after
partially
she had been
encased
missing
her
for a
in
day,
cement
he built the
to
shed
try to cover up his
out back.
partially.
He
Yeah,
built the shed out back. Go ahead,
foundation of the
Hound Dog.
shed.
Yeah.
Then he fled. He went to Montana, I think it was.
Partially.
Yeah, and
In the
they,
foundation.
They ended up catching him and bringing him back, and he still, remains a subject
where
of
I'd go.
interest in the missing and the murder of this lady. Right.
But the hang on a second. The last thing, and I'll let you go, Dobie.
Yes.
They didn't charge him yet with her murder. They're still collecting evidence. The reason they can hold him is because he's being held for no bail for child molestation.
Yeah.
So he's also a child molester besides probably a murderer because he's the one who built the shed and she was found encased in cement under the shed.
There's probably a special place in hell.
Now,
for you.
had he buried her under the steps, would that made her the family stepmother?
I knew something was coming.
For you, yeah. Those
And
jokes
her-
go
I
over
don't mean
real well.
He's
With
driving
Satan?
the bus.
Yeah.
So why
Yeah.
partially? Wonder why he wouldn't just totally encased her.
Well, this is my question. How did they find out she was there?
They knew after she was found missing and he
Yeah.
fled, and they said, "Hey, he just finished building that new shed out back." I guess family gave
Yeah, let's
permission to
get to
go,
it.
you know, and they removed the shed and they found her.
GPR.
You know,
You know they have those machines now. You can run machines over cement and you can see shit buried in them.
Well,
Like
that
they
makes
have
sense,
stuff.
too.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So they probably just did a search. Yeah.
well, they even have you can do it in someone's yard. You know, like
Yeah.
shoot like 6 foot down.
Yep.
Do some type
Take
of
it to
X-ray
Shootout
type
Mountain.
thing.
Yep.
Yeah, you can find the rock up here. You can find. But you know,
Shootout
in East
Mountain.
Ridge Mall in Gastonia, North Carolina, where the three of us policed,
I heard that one.
a missing lady who
Never
they
heard
never
that one.
found is supposedly buried in concrete underneath East Ridge Mall.
No shit, huh?
Maybe they can find.
Yeah.
Maybe they can find Jimmy Hoffman now.
the boyfriend who they suspected, he was always late for work. He run the backhoe and stuff. On the day before she went missing, everybody showed up. He's there early, and he's already run the backhoe and already done a bunch of
That's
the
interesting.
groundwork for it. And that's what led them believe that she may be. That's where she may be.
And he was late every other day.
All right.
Yeah, he's late
never
all
know.
the other times.
I still go to that mall occasionally. I don't know
Yeah,
why.
be careful.
Anyway. All right, guys, we good with that? So
That's
hey, listen,
crazy.
when you hire,
That's crazy.
You
you're
better
hiring
look
maintenance
out.
guys,
You don't need no sheds built, did you?
That's scary, man. On the hike, I
don't
met
invite
a
him to
guy
dinner. Don't invite him to dinner.
that gave me his card. He's a handyman. He does spare work around. Yeah. Yeah.
If we go up there,
That's
there's a
funny.
new shed
Crazy.
on Slow's property. We know what happened.
Yeah, whenever we log on next week to do one, he's not here. We're gonna be like, damn it, the hell.
Yeah, this guy's out there. He's actually fly fishing this creek I was hiking by, and man, he just reeked of alcohol.
Was it him? Was it him?
Well, I hope it's him. Might have been my breath bouncing off him. I don't know.
Yeah, how'd you know he's reeking alcohol? You might have been smelling yourself.
Yeah, he smelled like me. That's how I knew.
Smell like Knobs Creek.
It smelled like he was drinking smoked maple.
Hey, did you know there is a Knob Creek, Knob Creek, that runs through Johnson City, Tennessee?
Are we going to start announcing that on the air every day when you hold up your bottle? Because, I mean, we might be able to get some bourbon from them, too.
If Knobs Creek sponsors us, I wonder why we're not getting some of the money.
Yeah.
I'm here to tell you
All right,
that if I wasn't a retired cop, I'd probably stole that street sign. Or the sign showing Knob Creek.
That's a hunk of burning love.
All right, what is
there.
that?
Evil, see no evil.
All right. This beautiful, sleek-looking young lady. Yeah, she got...
It's a hunk, all right.
So this young lady right here decided that when her husband, in Richmond, Kentucky, folks, accused of placing her husband in a chokehold and attempting to set him on fire. So there's a lot going on here. So apparently, the 40-year-old lady, Tina Marshall of Richmond, Kentucky, wasn't very
Yeah, that's what I
happy
said. Yeah.
when her husband
Yeah.
tried to leave her. This was related to finances, I guess. They're having a problem with money. Is that why?
Well, look at the picture you showed up, man. If he tried to walk around her, it took like 2 days to leave her.
Yeah, dude. It's like running. It's like running on a
woman.
track. You'd have to run. Yeah, it's going to take a minute. So when it's about a quarter of a mile. When speaking to police, the victim Marshall said he was grabbing a lighter and threatened to burn the house down when he tried to separate from her. But apparently she grabbed him, put the flame next to his. I tried to light him on fire. So she's trying to light her husband on fire.
Probably.
They're having an argument.
Do we have a picture of
Trying to
him?
leave. No, we don't.
Yeah.
If you had a picture of bacon, you just hold that up. You know?
He's probably like 100 pounds.
Well, I'm going to
he's
say,
about
you ever
100
notice
pounds,
these like these 500-pound women always have a 110-pound husband.
Yep, exactly right. Exactly
And then,
right.
all these schools tell you a guy cannot be a victim of domestic violence.
Yeah. Meanwhile, this guy would beg to differ because apparently she also beat him over the head and kicked a phone out of his hand, which hit him in the face and caused a scratch on his face. And then she retrieved a pair of scissors, cut up his clothes. Of course, they always got to cut your clothes up. All 2 pairs of his jeans, probably.
Even a good pair.
She got a lot.
You're not leaving this house with pants.
Yeah.
They put him in a chokehold and squeezed, quote, with everything she had. She got a lot, too.
Yep.
Yeah. She's got a lot.
No, that's
Yeah. Marshall's daughter was so
sandwich.
scared she locked herself in the bathroom and called the police.
I
she locked herself
just
in the
got through
kitchen.
trying to kill you. I'm tired. I'm
No, that's the
hungry. I
first
think I
place
was
that
going to get a
lady will go.
sandwich.
Oh, yeah.
Probably
Get a snack after she kills herself.
It was
She'll
probably
make herself
empty.
a sandwich. Yeah.
Cabinets were bare.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And then police asked her about the incident. And she said she doesn't
angry.
remember a lot. She can only remember shoving her,
She
pushing
used to
her.
remember that sandwich.
Yeah, and she explains to police she occasionally blacks out when she gets angry. Listen, just this is a memo from Bourbon and Badges to everybody out there. If you hear a girl blacks out when she gets angry,
Well,
steer
there's a
clear.
long list of stuff that she was
This is
charged
not
with.
gonna end well
and it
for
is
you.
first degree
So
attempted
she was
arson,
taken to the detention
menacing,
center and she's locked
don't
up
really
now
understand the
and charged
menacing
with
part.
attempted murder and all sorts of stuff. So
Yeah. 3 counts of first degree wanton endangerment of man.
What's this, Kentucky, right?
Kidnapping of
She
an
stalked
adult,
him around the
second
trailer.
degree assault, domestic violence, 4th degree assault, domestic violence, 3rd degree assault, domestic violence. No, and 1st degree strangulation, domestic violence related. She got all of them, man.
Good grief.
She got the. You would think.
She got 1 through 4.
I think the first degree strangulation could be an attempted murder almost. I don't know.
I would
Trying to
say
kill
so.
somebody. When you're trying to deprive people of air and blood to their brain,
Yeah.
I don't know.
They end up being host on this show.
You can't live with either one, so if you're trying to deprive it, you might be trying to kill them. Anyway,
just
but,
you know,
that's just me. I'm a little bit of a hard ass, though. That's
I'm not
just
a
me.
doctor, but I'm just saying that's probably what's
Exactly.
happening.
I play one on Bourbon and Badges, but I'm not
Yeah.
really a doctor.
You did stay at Holiday Inn last night.
They
No,
left the
Rod's
light
case
on.
is
Oh,
a
yeah.
Motel 6.
Yeah,
Should be
they
the
left
cap-
the light on for me. Exactly.
She'll be at the cafeteria later for 2
All
months
right,
longer.
guys. So anyway, yeah. So that big lady there, she's in jail. She's probably getting 2 trays, so she's okay. She's doing good.
Oh, yeah.
She get her bologna sandwich. She get her bologna sandwich.
Yeah, they gave her 2 milks and two
Yes,
bologna
sir.
sandwiches. She's good.
She got her sandwich.
Yeah.
I do like blonde.
This young lady right here.
Reggie, let's talk about this Kentucky teacher accused of sexually abusing juvenile
Yeah,
inmates.
she's not bad.
Asking
Not bad
him to
looking.
kill her husband.
Yeah, not bad looking.
So yeah, she is right
Right,
there.
we keep holding up
Again.
these pictures of these people. She's slightly smaller than the lady before.
Yeah,
Detention
and not ugly.
Yeah,
not
detention
ugly.
facility in
Right.
Kentucky.
So I mean,
Another-
And what's
Kentucky.
doing her? She's a
Kentucky
what?
girl.
she works for I guess a detention center.
Evidently.
Huh? Hound dog.
Evidently.
Yeah, in Kentucky. Yep,
We
Columbia,
had another
Kentucky.
Kentucky the other
Well,
week, too.
a lot more comes out of Kentucky than bourbon, huh?
Yeah, it's called exactly. It's called the Dare Juvenile
right.
Detention Center.
Yeah, and
They
had
uncovered.
all
They
kind
really
of
found
stuff.
this. They
you know,
uncovered some letters of explicit material in
sexually
possession of a male juvenile, which
explicit
included this lady.
letters and
Is that right, Hound
provocative
Dog? I
letters
just kind of skimmed
and
it.
and
good.
pictures. From what I understand, she took some selfies.
Provocative.
Or there's, yeah, I think that's what it was—a cell search. That they
She's
found.
gotta know
Well,
that
she, she had
that
access
those
to
are
the
pre-read
facility. She has
before
a
they
school
go to the
teacher there.
inmate.
So she
Or
could have snuck
during
the
a
guy,
cell
"Hey,
search,
man,
they're gonna
check,
find
check
him."
page 6 out right here.
Of course.
Yeah,
Of course.
no, you can't take them. No.
Yeah.
But she,
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Look at that
And
thing.
once they're sent, you can't take them back.
yeah, and she, a routine
Well,
search of the
YouTube bags
Adair
different from
Juvenile
our past
Detention
podcasts.
Center uncovered letters.
They'll take 'em
of
back in a heartbeat,
material
right?
to
Yeah.
Possession of the male juvenile. The material was reportedly sent by Elena Barden, a 27-year-old teacher, assigned to the facility, and they had sexually explicit images of herself on April 2nd, 2025. Barden was arrested in Kentucky State Police. Is currently being held in the Adair County Detention. So does that mean that they are cellmates? Maybe her and this young guy's cellmates? I'm not sure. Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
So,
Yeah.
so
They
now,
can be cell buddies
now,
now.
so now it becomes a conjugal visit.
If he says he's all of a sudden feels like a woman, they'll put him over with her, and then they can have,
Yeah.
they can go at it. Yeah. But also, she's facing charges of murder, first-degree sexual abuse, and first offense distribution of obscene matter to a minor. So I guess the kid, they didn't. I don't know if they ever mentioned his. They didn't mention his age.
Yeah, it
but
must have been,
He
yeah.
must have been young enough
Yeah.
where
Yep.
first-degree sexual abuse and the first offense distribution of obscene matter to a minor. So he must have been under 16,
wow,
I guess,
yeah.
in Kentucky, right? 15, 14.
Yeah, but it is Kentucky. That family tree kind of looked like a telephone pole.
It does, yeah. It goes straight up. There's no
Gosh, they make
branches.
good bourbon.
There ain't no fucking
True.
branches, bro.
You give them that.
Yep. Anyway, so yeah, you know what the sad thing is? It's these people who get in positions of power, whether it's a school teacher or a counselor, it's hard. It's hard if you actually need help or someone needs help. And I'm not saying
Right. Yeah.
criminal stuff. I'm saying, let's say a hospital, right? Or you send your kid to school and it's a teacher. You just never fucking know, because these people who want to abuse kids seek out jobs
Yeah.
where they're in charge of children.
All right.
And everybody, oh, it's a teacher. He's such a nice guy, Mr. Blah, blah. Guess what? All the sexual perverts are nice because they want to get in your kid's pants. Like, it's just.
They're not going
it's
to be
so-
assholes.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude. I just.
So let me ask
Right.
you this.
Go ahead.
What kind of a spin off of that? This seems to be so much more prominent than it ever has been. And I kind of digress back to when we were that age. You didn't see or hear about it. You think it just doesn't happen back then as much as it does now, or is it just because social media kind of
Yeah.
blows it up? 'Cause, we never saw that much.
Well,
when we
the
kids.
thing about it is, national news wasn't really big in our day, man. It's all local
Yeah,
news.
I'm just
If it didn't
wondering
happen to
why
right
the
in the
change.
local
Is it
viewing area.
really escalated that much, or is it just because of the way things get pushed out?
If you guys remember right, we're
Yeah.
all relatively the same age. With the Walter Cronkite, the Dan Rathers,
Right.
you watch the evening news, and whatever they said is what you knew, or what you read in the newspaper, because there were newspapers back then, right? Now I can go on my phone and hit so many different news sites, and I know exactly what I'm going to get from each one because, I'll go to the liberal ones, I'll go to the conservative ones, and I kind of figure out what's going on by going between the bunch of those fuckers, and I can know. Because each one will have a story on the same thing, and it's pitched in a different way.
Take it all in.
And you take the facts from each, and then you kind of get what's really going on. You know what I mean?
Right.
But back then, whatever they said, you had to eat. You had to buy it.
Right.
Yeah.
And also, I'll say this too. At what age do kids start having a smartphone nowadays?
Mm-hmm.
Very young. They can type in something and not realize what they're typing in.
I agree with that.
Or
100%.
it's similar to something else, and it brings up something they shouldn't see.
Yeah.
Right.
So
that's why you can put those safeties on those phones. So don't give them the kids till they're of age.
Exactly.
But
So
people,
it just opens up Pandora's box.
right?
You're
But the argument's
put the
going to be
safeties on it and make
the argument's going to be give them a phone, but put all the safeties on it because you want them to be able to call you when they're not with you in case they're in trouble. I get that argument, and I'm totally good with that argument, especially at school. But you don't have to give them all the bells and whistles because the bells and whistles will lead wrong.
You need to monitor that shit.
I tell you, a cool app is called News Now. It's a free app, and you can go in there and punch in news and watch the news anywhere in the country. It's pretty cool. I've watched it just in Alaska, see what was going on there, and it's pretty cool. Yeah, you can watch news at any.
Because you have these people out there who are trolling for those kids.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I always reference things back to Bill Burr. Bill Burr done an excellent bid on that. Says talking about social media now, how easy it is to reach kids. Since back in the old days, man, you had to buy an ice cream truck. You had to patrol the neighborhood, wait for a straggler leaving school.
Yeah.
It's really a funny bit if you ever follow Bill Burr.
But in all seriousness, as parents, you need to make sure you monitor that. Stay on it. It's not something that you can be lax about.
Yeah, it's a lot of the times back when I was still working, the kids who were recluse and stayed locked up in their room when they got home from school with the music blasting and they don't come out for hours and they're playing video games or you don't know what they're doing in there. Usually not a good thing. Usually not good stuff. They're in chat rooms. They're doing this. They're doing that. They're setting up meetings. They're meeting people online who could be 80 years old and they think they're 18.
Oh yeah.
And it's just they just get it's your responsibility, folks.
Right.
It's
you can't look at them as that's my innocent little baby.
And I tell you, and along the same lines,
they don't realize they're going down. Then bam.
Oh yeah.
How often you guys been out? I mean, I go to a parking lot, going to Walmart, Ingles, or something. How many of these young kids got these phones in their heads right here? They ain't paid you a bit of attention. You can walk right up on them, you can grab them, whatever. They're in another world.
Yep.
That's why they make such easy victims.
There's actually an official diagnosis from chiropractors now.
Yes.
In regards to your spine around your neck.
Yep.
Because you're constantly doing that.
Yep. Because they're looking
phone
That's
spineinitis.
completely 100% made up.
What?
It's phone spineinitis.
phone spineinitis.
You should.
I don't really believe
you should know better.
He tried to keep it. He tried to keep it. Yeah.
You're right, hound dog. I should. By now, I should know better to believe what he says.
Because he's drinking. That's why.
When you hear stuff on this show, take it at your own risk if you believe it, okay? That's what I'm
Mother,
saying.
what's phone spineinitis?
Phone spineinitis?
You watching Bourbon and Badges again?
Slow ride's a lying piece of shit. Ain't no such thing.
What was it? People used to say you had retinal something where you just don't see your ass coming to work.
Anal glaucoma. Can't see your ass coming to work.
Definitely.
Oh, my goodness.
You can't make that shit up, but it's true.
Seriously, watch your kids, folks, because you never know, because that phone is a doorway for perverts to get in your lives.
Absolutely.
Guys, like I said, I was a medic before I was a cop, so I'm just saying. There's some truth to there's some truth to every lie.
Something. Truth usually between the two stories, right? Somewhere in the
Right
middle.
now, Rod Nader's shaking his head. If you can't see me right now, I have a puzzled look on my face, and I'm going, what the fuck does that mean? That's the look I have on my face. There's a truth
We
in
just
every
know
lie.
it's slow talking after he's been drinking, so it's even worse.
Yeah.
At least he doesn't have the gummies tonight.
That's it.
Ooh.
All right.
Refrigerator.
Next story. I saw this one and posted because, again, we can't ignore the illegal immigration problem we have. I got this happened in Maryland, okay? And the reason this is apropos is because of that fucking douchebag that got sent to the El Salvadorian prison who's from El Salvador, who's a citizen of El Salvador, who's an MS-13 gang member, who beats his girlfriend, who, well,
But he has kids.
They're down trying to free him from prison down there to bring him back to be deported again, I guess. While these guys here in Maryland are murdering people. This U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement arrested a Guatemalan illegal alien. Yep. He allegedly murdered his girlfriend in Maryland, and his uncle helped him hide the body. These two people right here, they showed the picture. Let me show it one more time. Those two lovely individuals. Again, folks, they're illegal. They shouldn't be here. Shouldn't be here. And the problem is when they walk across, or Biden let them in, or brought them in, or flew them in, they had no due process. They had no vetting. Nobody knows who they are. But now, in order for us to send them out, they're wanting us to put them through court and stuff.
Yeah, they want due process
bullshit.
now.
Yeah.
No due process. If you came in the last 4 years, you get your ass on out. You came in with nothing, you leave with nothing. That's just Rod Nader. But
no, I agree.
Whatever. Anyway,
see what some people don't get, Rod, is a lot of us, especially the police, we don't give a shit who you are, what you are. When you do it right and you go by the laws, and you, I mean, how many of us have friends who are not 55-year-old white cops?
Sure. Not only that, but we let 1 million legal immigrants in the country every year. 1 million.
And they will be the first ones to stand up against the illegals because they did it right. They jumped through all the loops, and it's not easy.
And not only that, but the legal immigrants know that when the illegals come, they victimize other immigrants. Immigrant on immigrant crime. Yeah. This right here story I'm about to tell you is he murdered his Guatemalan girlfriend in Maryland. So he murdered another illegal female. And again, a lot of times these things go unnoticed because they don't want to call the police because they're illegal. So illegals prey on illegals. It's a sad story. So this guy killed his girlfriend, Lesbia Milith Ramirez Guerrera, and buried her body in a forest. Up in upstate New York. And his uncle, Rolvan Eduardo Barrera Barrera, that's two Barreras, also an illegal alien from Guatemala, allegedly helped bury the girlfriend's body. Guys, so this one here it doesn't deal with American citizen, but still taking a life is taking a life.
Period.
And that poor girl, she's illegal. Yeah, I'm not ranting and raving, but do we see a problem here, guys?
And that's wrong, period.
But what does it take? I mean, I love through you guys like a brother. I do. But if all three of y'all come to us, hey man, I killed this guy. I need you behind the body. Right. I'm like, hey, come on, Ronnie, we got to talk, dude. We got to go see somebody.
I said get shoveled. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, you fuck up like this. That's one thing. I mean, I understand you take somebody out who maybe molested this or that, your daughter or something. Hey, I got a bag of lime. I'm with you. But I mean, not this kind of shit. No, not happening.
Anyway, two, I'm just going to kind of a little bit of tangent, but people don't get that police officers are willing to sacrifice, do what they need to do, take a bullet, whatever, and they don't realize we're going to do it for everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
Regardless, and they don't also realize. I got a good friend of mine. He's of Cuban descent, Latino guy, police. Great guy, conservative. I mean, he's just a good guy. Hang around this weekend. He's the first one that has a problem with the illegals, and they don't get it. Right, they want to make it something that it's not. You do it the right way, and fine.
Anyway, yeah, no doubt. This guy right here. What do we do with him now? So he's illegal alien and his uncle. They're locked up for killing another illegal. So. Best case scenario, right? They get convicted and they go to prison for life here in America, and we pay for them for the rest of their lives.
Ding, $10,000 a year is what it costs per
inmate. So let me ask you this: so they're convicted of what, Rod?
Murder.
Done with them.
Yeah, you would like it, but not in Virginia.
Execute.
No death penalty.
Yeah. You get to choose.
Yeah, not have a death
South
penalty
Carolina.
in Virginia. Send them to South Carolina.
Yeah, well, you get the firing squad. That's kind
They've had a second one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But
here's the thing: people have such a problem with the death penalty.
No,
but you know what?
You're right.
That I'm just going to be honest. That motherfucker does not do that again.
No, not at all.
Well, think about this. Yeah, the murderer, he didn't have a problem with the death penalty for somebody.
No, he didn't.
Right.
He didn't have a problem killing somebody.
Oh, and not only this, but did that girl have due process? No. What the?
No, right. They
Do
didn't have due
do
process.
any murder victims have due process?
No,
Hey, do you want to be
none.
murdered today? Sure, that's fine.
Sure.
No one gives them due process. They just get murdered, and then we have to turn around and give. I get it for citizens. What I'm trying to say is, for people who come here, they break the law. They're breaking a law. They're criminals.
Oh yeah.
In a country
And then
that
they
are
commit
not
crime.
illegal.
Then they
Do you-
commit crime.
can you
And then
understand
they
how-
get caught, and then they expect to have rights under our like. I just have an issue with that. I have an
agree.
issue with that.
Absolutely.
Can you see though how easy it'd be to commit murder against illegal alien that no
Here's
one,
a-
very few
here's a-
people know they're
here's a-
here?
Oh, sure. Think about it. If I wanted to be a serial killer, and I went around killing illegal immigrants,
Oh, you could.
it'd probably be tough to catch me
Oh,
because I have no
absolutely.
connection to them.
And you wouldn't be a Democrat.
Who's gonna report them
Here's the
dead?
thing. You go.
You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of strikes against illegal immigrants to get justice around here.
Right,
So
and
it just
you
is.
go kill a gang member or a migrant farm worker. Nobody's gonna know. Nobody's gonna care.
Oh.
But here's another thing too. I lost my train of thought for a second, but anyway, you're right. I mean,
It'll get worse there, Double D.
If
Have
you
another
go,
drink.
if you go to El Salvador and you do the same thing, you go to El Salvador and you do the same thing,
No.
you kill one of their people. What's going to happen to us?
Oh, forget about it.
Oh, you're
yeah.
done. You're done. They don't
There's
want
no-
us doing it,
There's no constitutions and shit down there.
and they're going to hammer you. They're going to kill you.
Yeah.
But
Right.
we want to let them come over when they're illegal and do whatever the hell they want to do.
Not anymore, anyway. So what else we got, guys? We're 51
Correct.
minutes into the podcast.
But
I'm
this
gonna
is
hit
gonna
one
be
more
good.
story, and then we're gonna segue into our feel good. How about that?
Yeah, man. And then we'll comment on our bourbon and get out of here.
Yeah. All right. So the other thing, this is going to take us into
Yeah.
our feel good story. FBI says Venezuelan officials likely using Tren de Agua. That's the gang that was taking over apartment complexes over in what was the state? I forget. It's Colorado. Using Tren de Agua as a tool against us. And the Federal Bureau of Investigation says Venezuela government officials may be using Tren de Agua gang members, according to a Fox News report. In other words, using the members here, purposely infiltrating the country and purposely committing crimes and whatever that might be, whether it's burglaries or money laundering or drugs or whatever, and then sending the money and the stuff back to Venezuela. So, and the reason this is important, guys, is because they've been dubbed a terrorist organization or terrorist kind of gang, which puts them under different laws and different penalties when they get caught here. They're not just another a street gang like the Crips or the Bloods or something like that. They're under the terrorist rules, which is a good thing because we have more power. The government has more power, and the Trump administration is willing to do this because he's not putting up with this shit like we did for the last 4 years. Like do you remember when it said they were taking over apartment complexes? And one
Yeah.
newscaster, I think it was Martha Radish, goes,
Yeah.
"That's not true, Mr. Vice President Vance. It's just one or two building. It's just one apartment complex." And Vance looked at her and says, "Did you just hear what you
Yeah.
said? A gang in America, a foreign gang, has taken over an entire apartment complex, and you say it's okay? It's
Oh,
only
yeah.
one
One
apartment
too
complex."
damn many.
It was incredible. Martha Radish looked like an idiot. This is America. We don't allow that shit. If that was in my area, I would have set my whole crew in there. Dude, there would have been a war. It would have been on, bro.
They've been going, boys. Go do your thing.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's important now because
Yeah.
that's some of the guys they sent back that everybody's bitching about now. That plane load that went back that the judge, you remember the judge that said, turn that plane around?
Oh, man,
when
that is
Trump was
awesome.
deporting the 250 guys to the El Salvadorian Supermax gulag shit, where they shave your head. I love, dude, isn't that great? They get off the plane, and the first thing they do is they make you put your head down. They shave your fucking head.
Every prison should be, even in the United States, should be like that.
You're in a pair of boxer
Absolutely.
shorts and a t-shirt, and you're in a freaking there's 3-story bunks in a cell, and you're just in there sitting in there 23,
No
24
mattresses.
hours. Nothing. You're just sitting in there. Oh, dude.
And what, like 3 toilets per cell or something like that? Something
Oh,
crazy.
Dude, can you imagine the smell? I love it, dude. I freaking love it. And they're bitching because they want to bring back this other Maryland guy. You know, the guy who's a MS-13. He's got a tattoo across his knuckles, and those are true tattoos, guys. Don't listen to what the news is saying. They're fake. They're not, because if you go to his girlfriend's Instagram, she has pictures of him holding the baby, and she put little hearts over his knuckles so you can't see it anymore. Like she inserted hearts, so you
He's a
can't
good
see
guy.
his tattoos. Yeah, she's trying to protect him, even though she did two court cases on him for beating her ass and all that too.
And
Anyway.
I'll say this too, kind of a little bit of a side note, but things are changing, but what we have in our favor is that the next 4 to 8 years, speaking of Vance.
Well, another thing too is, and I can't remember who the guy is. A good spokesman. He's very well. He's very intelligent, very well spoken, and he's doing an interview. And they're saying, "Okay, if we bring him back, what do you think is going to happen? We're just going to let him loose? We're not.
Do the same damn thing.
He's going to jail, and then he's going to be deported.
Right.
What do you people think is going to happen? We're sending him right back. He's not going to.
They have nothing else to fight about. They have nothing to stand on. They got nothing to do. They have to. There's Florida congressmen who are going to El Salvador for a guy from Maryland. Like, it makes no sense. Do you not have any problems in Florida you can handle? Like,
Yeah, I know, but that's a
crazy.
free taxpayer trip for them
Yeah.
to get out of.
Yeah. So anyway,
The feel-good story of the
That's
day.
exactly what it is.
it's all they put
I'm
them sitting on the
happy
beach
for this
drinking a
one.
margarita too.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, so here we go. Look at Rod. Look at Rodnator. He's smiling big now because we're gonna segue in. So talking about these judges and talking about these different people who want these illegals to have a due process and all this. Well, this bitch right here. Can we see her?
And I will
She
say
looks
Oh,
like the
man,
lady
pull
who
that
choked
over
out
right
the
quick.
guy's sister.
Put a side by side up on that.
I'm not kidding.
Better
Tell me they're
dressed
not
sister.
sisters. Tell me that's not her sister. Put a side by side up here, folks.
All right.
Hang on, folks. I just think
Yeah,
I
if you're
think
just
I
on the
found it.
listing side, we're holding up pictures of that judge, and we'll bring up pictures of the other lady that choked and tried to burn her boyfriend.
And they
Oh,
both
man.
look like
Check her out. Woo.
oh my god, they both had the same body type, sumo wrestler like.
Is her name's Judy? Heavy duty Judy's?
Oh my god, look at her. Okay. Anyway,
what is it? What is it? What is
Anyway.
it?
Hey, you gotta give the judge. She is better dressed.
Oh my. Well, she's a judge, you know. Good lord.
She should be. But
Yeah. So anyway,
you can't
guys, so
make that shit up.
the story behind this is this particular judge, and now there's a total of two now. This lady, who I just held up her picture, was arrested by the FBI, and she's a judge, wears a black robe. But before she was a judge, she was an activist, a Democrat supporter, worked on a bunch of campaigns for different Democrat people, which is fine. But when you become a judge, you can't bring your politics into the courtroom. You have to call balls and strikes. You have to judge by the law, not by how you feel. That's the problem with Democrats. They feel a certain way, and that's how they make decisions. You're retarded. You can't do that. You have to use math. 2 and 2 is 4. If you want it to be 5, that's fine, but it's not. It's 4.
The problem
Anyway.
is they can't stand that when they use 2 + 2 = 4, it doesn't go in their favor.
Right. They don't want it to be 4. They want it to be 5.
So
Whatever.
they have to
Anyway.
change it to
Right.
for their sake.
Right. So anyway, so this lady's in court, right? She's holding court. She's a judge. And this guy comes before her. They do his case, and his case has something
Yeah, I got
to
it
do
right here.
with
Got it pulled up.
him assaulting a man, punching him 30 times, and trying to choke him.
That's the bad guy.
And a bunch of other charges. In fact, I think I have a picture of his lovely. Do I have a picture of him? You got okay. Yeah, that's him.
That's the bad guy.
Yeah. So he's at her courtroom. I think they're adjudicating something with him, right?
Yeah.
Well, she hears that ICE is out front with a warrant to lock him up to be deported. That's what ICE does. He's illegal. He's here illegal. So she goes into herself in front of a courtroom of people, so 30 witnesses. See her go in the courtroom, yell at the ICE officer, say, you go out of here. You're not coming in my courtroom or whatever. She goes back in her courtroom, takes the attorney with the bad guy who's illegal.
In front of the victims.
Who's in front of the victims and in front of the entire courtroom of 30 people, takes him back, through her chambers, and out and lets him out a back door. So, folks, what she just did was, these are the two charges. She was harboring a fugitive, meaning keeping him safe from ICE, and obstructing ICE from getting her. Those are 2 federal felonies she just committed in front of a courtroom of 30 people. And I'm sure the courtroom has cameras too.
Oh, yeah.
So she just committed 2 felonies. And then days later, the FBI came and arrested her because it's FAFO FBI. Fuck around, find out, FBI.
Yeah.
And so she got
What's
she
the
got
guy's
perp
name that's
walked.
over the FBI now?
Hang on a second. She got perp walked out right there in handcuffs.
In her robe.
Which, damn right, which is how it should be. Not
Hell
behind
yeah.
closed doors, not to keep her safe, not to not embarrass her. Fuck her.
bitch.
This is what she needs. She needs to be exposed because she's an activist piece of shit pretending to be a judge.
Come on, Ron Nader, how do you really feel?
This is Rant Nader right here. You're going to be a fucking judge, call balls and strikes, and if you can't, dump the robe at the front door and head on out with your pierced nose and your blue hair and fucking walk the streets, right? And fucking chant. No, my body, my baby. Keep your hands off my body. No one wants to touch your body, bitch. No one wants to touch you, bitch. No one wants to come near you.
It's about to explode.
I want an abortion. I'll have an abortion. You're never going to have an abortion. You're never going to have an abortion.
Nobody wants you, bitch.
Hey, am I the only one seeing that blood vessel in his forehead?
Golly. Just, it's okay. Don't be a judge. Go be a car mechanic. I don't know.
But here's the thing: the arrogance of that.
Exactly.
To think that she can do that.
Yeah, exactly.
And guess what?
It's
All
just
the
sick.
Democrats are going, my God, constitutional crisis.
Oh.
They're locking up judges. Hey, was it a constitutional crisis when they locked up a president? No. And what happened to nobody's above the law? What happened to that?
Yeah.
Well, guess what? Rod Nader's bringing it back. No one's above the law. Not even a judge, a fat one in a fucking robe. You're not above the law. Break the law and you get fucked.
Yes, 911. Can you send an ambulance to Ron Nader's house? He's having a stroke.
So
I already know
she's
you
not
two.
the only one. She's not the only one.
Got
Let's look at
arrested
it.
here.
Rod,
We're going to be in jail. We're going to be in jail, and it's my fault. I'm sorry. I apologize up front. Okay? There we go.
Hey, Rod, I missed.
Yeah.
I didn't read the whole article, but there wasn't another judge that stood up.
Yeah, a
But
second
she
judge.
stood up raising hell about this judge.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, this one was a this is a
remember how
pretty
that
good
worked,
one.
but,
The other
yeah.
one was a former judge who had a Tren de Agua guy living in his
wife.
house. Who guys, this is pretty creepy. He says he didn't know he was Tren de Agua until he was arrested. Yet he had pictures on his phone of a decapitated body sent to him
It's a
by
little weird.
the guy
That's a
living in
little
his
weird.
house.
Even for slow. That's
And the
weird.
guy living in his house had AK-47s and different kinds of guns that he let the judge shoot out back. I think it was New Mexico. But the judge and his wife both are arrested. They're in jail right now for harboring a fugitive.
But there was-
you can't
there was-
do that. So two judges now. Two judges down.
But there was another judge that got up in court raising hell about the other judge getting in trouble, tried to stop it. Do you remember that?
So
I
they are
didn't see the whole
pro.
article, but there
It's
was
pro
something I
the
had to look
judge,
it
right?
up.
Not pro law enforcement. Pro the judge.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, guys, what I'm trying to say is judges need to call balls and strikes, Republican and Democrat.
And if
No
you- and
activists. You can't be an activist on the bench. It just
And
Well, it
doesn't
goes
work.
right
Yeah.
back to what Double D said about his cops. When we're dispatched to a call, we don't care if you're black, white,
No.
Hispanic, legal, illegal.
can't. If
We're
you
there
have that
to call
bias, you
balls and
can't be a
strikes,
cop.
like you say,
You
to enforce
cannot
the
be
law.
a cop and do that.
And the judge is the judicial branch of the government. There's
Right.
executive, executive, and legislative. They carry out the judicial responsibilities.
Right.
And if you can't do that, don't be a fucking
Right.
judge.
And you don't. The judicial branch, a judge doesn't make law; they enforce.
Without
The law
bias.
is made through Congress. When Congress says A, that's what the law is. It's not what you want it to be,
Yeah.
Judge.
Basically,
you can't make a guy legal
basically
who's
for
illegal.
judges, do not
you
bring your
cannot
political
keep ICE from picking
views
somebody
into
up
the
because you
courtroom.
feel bad for
That
them.
is not
Take
the-
your
that is
feelings
not
and check them at the
place for
fucking
it.
front door when
If
you
you
put that
can't, if
robe
you
on.
can't
It's
do
not.
that, your ass don't
Don't
need
be
to
a
be a damn
judge.
judge to start with.
Right. Your feelings too. Yeah.
Well,
It's not the place.
What does
and
it
all
say you're supposed to do it
Judges,
without
yeah, we
bias?
do. Yeah, we do.
Well,
Damn
to all
right.
the judges that follow our show, and that we all do have friends that are judges.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
right.
Good friends that are judges, and we can call up right now. I've got two in my phone. Right now. We're not talking about you
Great
guys. We're
people.
talking about
Great
these.
people.
Yeah, we're
I'm
talking
going to
about
caveat that one. So I might be talking. If you do what I'm telling you, if you're doing what this lady's doing, I'm talking about you.
Yeah,
I don't
agree.
care if it's your friend and they're doing this
majority
shit.
of judges
I am
are good
talking about
judges.
them. Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
But
Just
do
call
it,
balls and strikes. Yeah.
But do it without bias.
And I'm sure
right.
the good judges are like good cops. They hate a bad judge.
Oh my God.
More than
I
anybody
can
else.
only imagine. I can only imagine. You know what I think about sometimes, guys, and I know we're running over slow. We're at 104. I wonder what I'm waiting for the Supreme Court to go. This is driving me insane. Why? Because the Supreme Court is supposed to be the judges of all judges, right?
They should be.
And when they watch these lower judges do
They
these
should be
things,
fighting over it.
it should make their head
Yeah.
spin to the point we got to get this one in front of us. They should take this case and get it in front of them. You know,
Now,
and
but
rule
they
on
can't
it.
select the cases, right? The case has to be brought to them.
They could take and all these cases are to them. They have a whole docket of stuff. They got to choose what they're gonna see and what they're not gonna see on an important date lasting May 15th. they're going to rule on these judges who are making decisions for the country. In other words, if I'm an idiot judge and Slow brings me something, hey, Trump is doing this. And then I go, okay, you're not allowed to do this, period. And I make it, and my ruling is for nationwide, and I'm in Beaufort, Alabama. They're trying to go for the Supreme Court.
Beaufort next to all fuck.
Dobie doesn't live in Beaufort, Alabama. He just lives in Alabama.
He's like next door to him.
That was no reference. That was no reference to Dobie. But on May 15th, the Supreme Court's going to try and rule, and hopefully they'll put a stop to a district court judge, which is a court, say, in Gastonia, who says, okay, from now on, we're not allowed to do this. And it's for and that's a nationwide rule from a judge in Gastonia. That's going to stop, hopefully, on May 15th. It's a big Supreme Court case, and I will bring it to the show.
Yeah, so it's basically going to be they can call that in their jurisdiction only.
And they can call it if you bring it to me in my courtroom, I rule for you and your client and the district. That's it.
Your jurisdiction.
Nothing outside. Jurisdiction. Yeah. Jurisdiction's a better word.
Okay. I did something right.
Oh, Double D's full of good words.
Yeah. I got to back off. I'm all jacked up. I got to back off.
We are at that time of the night, man. Any shout outs, any last calls, anything you want to add to the show?
I want to shout out to all the judges who do a damn good job.
Oh, yeah.
Really, guys. The
Great
majority
people,
of you
man.
do good jobs. So it's just these activists that make you look bad, just like the bad cops make us look bad. So I understand.
Very solid.
Boy,
I'd like to
hold
shout
out.
to Judge David Phillips. He's over the Gas County Judge. He used to be
He's solid.
before he was a judge.
Solid.
He was an attorney.
Sweet.
Yeah,
Before
of
he's
course,
actually
all
police.
judges are attorneys. But
He was police for a little bit.
yeah, we're in court one day, and he won a case against one of the officers because he's representing the bad guy. And the officer asked David Phillips, says, "How do you sleep at night?" David looked at him seriously. He says, "In a very expensive bed."
The thing with David, I've had cases with David. He's like, look, he's going to argue case law, but he's not going to try to make you look like a liar or an asshole.
Hey, I've got one more story I got to tell about David Phillips when he was an attorney. I know we're running late. I'll make it fast. We're in Superior Court. And, of course, it's my case. He's representing the bad guy. They do the closing arguments. And in his closing arguments, the judge, believe it or not, let me testify as a expert on Dilaudid.
You?
Why they let him do that, I don't know. And, of course,
They let you be an expert on Dilaudid?
oh, yeah. Yes,
Maybe
and David
Dobbs-
Phillips.
Maybe
David
Dobbs
Phillips.
Creek.
David Phillips, being the defense attorney, told me to do behind because he starts taking me all these technical questions. I don't know him. I'm not an expert on Dilaudid.
Why did he throw you in a grease like that? Like you're an expert on Dilaudid? Who did
I don't
that
know,
to you?
but let's fast forward to the closing arguments. David Phillips is telling the jury
He
the
used
closing
that a
arguments. He
lot.
says, "Hey, Detective Carver's a great detective. He's a blah 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 blah. Matter of fact, he's a double knot spy, but he's no expert on Dilaudid." And he came to me after he says, "Carver, I'm sorry I called you a
Yeah,
double knot
he's a good
spy."
guy.
I said,
Really
"David,
good guy.
you said that." I kind of sat in my chair. I was a little excited.
David was he would argue law, but he wouldn't try to make you look like
Oh no,
Like
he's
you
good
were-
people. He's good.
he was
No,
good.
no,
He
that's
was
all-
he was actually a police officer a little bit until he got accepted to law school.
All right,
Hang on.
Yeah.
There's all fun in love and war, guys. I never cared if I lost the case fair and square. Never cared about anything. It's my responsibility to come into court squared away.
oh yeah,
ready
and
to go.
you learn from it.
And
You-
that's it.
Next time you prepare it even better.
That's right. Exactly right. I've never went up to a defense attorney and said, "Gee, son of a," I don't take the job home. I don't take it personally.
yeah.
Balls and strikes. I win. I
Easy for you to
lose.
say.
Whatever. I try my best, and then I go home. That's it.
right,
Emotions
Hound Dog.
out of it.
No,
What were you listening to
tonight our good
prior to
friend
Pete Cosby?
Jerry Millwood went on
Pre-podcast
live
meeting.
on TikTok and was doing
Peacock?
a
What?
episode
Yeah, talking about
all
ducks and
things
peacocks
Bigfoot,
now.
and it was really
Squirrels.
good. I was on there watching and listening to it. And he, by the way, he said, I told him, I said, "Hey Jerry, I got to get out of here. I got to go podcast." He said, "Make sure you tell the fellas I said hello and look forward to seeing everybody again." So, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Hey, Jerry.
Millwood. Keep
Shout
up
out.
the good work, brother.
One last
Yeah,
shout out, a
absolutely.
couple of things. One, all the guys from April 29th, Meet Weeks and Ayers and all, shout out to their family.
Oh yeah.
Hell
'Cause
yeah.
They have to live with that, and they have to live with the aftermath. But another little thing, and this is kind of personal. And I really wasn't thinking about it the other day, but shout out
Oh.
to a lot of people on this, but Jerry, Dobie, my mother, birthday, April 29th, 1944.
Happy birthday,
Nice.
Mom.
Oh, yeah.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday,
June of
Mom.
1995. Thanks for what you did. You made me what I am.
Hey, awesome.
And we don't hold it against her.
She tried. She did the best she could.
Bless her heart. Yeah.
She didn't have a lot to work with.
All right, guys, if you like what you've seen, please hit that like button, the subscribe button. We need to love. Comment down below. All that helps our show out, man. And if you want to see or hear something or a topic you want us to talk about or discuss, you know, it's what, 120
not at
years
all.
of law enforcement on this show, and we are bound by no one. There's no administration gagging us or holding
Yeah.
us back from what
You
our
couldn't
blue
tell.
chief.
You couldn't tell from my rant, could you? There's nothing holding us
Gotcha.
back.
And I will say this. Peter Will, Rod, we had a ball.
Hell yeah.
Reggie
What?
made it even better.
All right, guys, it was a great show as always.
And let's drink about it and drink responsibly.
Studio 77. Got it right today.
Oh, man, stole my thunder.
Cheers.
And if you have a problem, call us.
Oh, yes, sir. Guys, enjoyed it.
I will say this.
You mean it's over? Well, shit.